Okay, we're back again. It's been just a little over a day since we were on here last, so and instantaneous for everybody on the YouTube world. All new glass except for the rectifier tube. The 6x4 is the original tube that this unit came with a couple weeks ago. Got yesterday afternoon, too late to do anything about it. I got these, came in the mail. Not real happy about the shipping method. It was in this little bag, and then this little bag, and then there was a paper envelope around the outside of it, and luckily the mailman managed to not crush it. Okay, anyway, I also replaced it was a blue wire back here that's feeding filament voltage across from one side of the board to the other. Made a new, same gauge as 24 gauge solid core wire. I twisted it in a drill bit with a drill motor, and then soldered it in. I didn't like the look of the other one. Also, I was checking these VRs on the C minus volt and B plus volts controls. They're both out of tolerance quite a bit, and this is a 500K, this is a 50K pot, and so I ordered new pots from DigiKey. The neon light bulbs have been pulled, and I showed you I haven't soldered these in and made it permanent yet. I'm going to make sure this all works first, and then I'll work on the on the LEDs and the new power indicator, and also when the new pots, the VRs show up, I got some new knobs. They're aluminum, and I'm gonna paint them. I've got this brown color that I painted the cover with, and I'm gonna paint them up and make them look nicer. Replace these plastic knobs. But next thing to do is turn this on. We'll run this up to, well, let's power it up. Let's see what we get here. Sure, we get some AC volts. And that's on the 12 volt side. We're running 7 volts output AC with 69 volts in. Let's see if we got any activity over here. No, not enough. Nothing. Oh yeah, we're still on standby. Nothing really. Okay, we're on. That's the dim bulbs. Can't see, but they're just barely coming on. And the voltmeter is up at 260 volts, and we're monitoring the variable. Oh, I know what's going on. Yeah, with the current limiter on, it won't pull enough current to let's turn that down, turn the current limiter off. And then we have got real high voltage here. 361 across there. And no voltage control at all. I'm at 75 volts in, and we're almost 400 volts DC, and there's no regulation at all. This thing's wired according to everything's supposed to be wired. I'm gonna turn this off, turn the lights off here so I can reach across there. And I've got That's over 400 volts there. Something's still not right. Yeah, something's still not right. We've got no voltage regulation going on at all. Let's see on the C plus. Go to DC volts. And we could easily get our 100 volts out of there. If I turned it up, I'm only sitting at 80, a little over 80 volts. And we're sitting at 79 volts AC out, or DC out rather. Over here, this thing's crazy. 425 volts. And we got no regulation at all. I turn on, just pegs the meter. Huh. These are supposedly brand new 6L6s and brand new AO2 tubes. And gotta watch that. Those 6L6s don't look like they're lighting up at all. Interesting. Alright, well, let's see if we're getting I'll turn that off so I don't blow up the capacitors again. Hey everyone, yeah, we're going live handycam mode here. This thing, let me tell you something. I've been all over this crazy thing. I've even sent up close photos to Mr. Carlson, Mr. Paul Carlson, and this thing is befuddling. This resistor R1 keeps burning up. We suspected that this capacitor C1B was maybe shorting out and causing this to pull excessive current and burn. That isn't the case. I've desoldered this and it still burns. Okay, then when I unplug the tubes, then it stopped burning, but nevertheless I still don't have any voltage regulation, and so there's a short somewhere. Something's wrong. I've got two sets of tubes. I've got the original tubes here, the 6L6 WGBs, and then I just recently purchased these here locally, these 5881. They're 6L6 WGCs, these Russian tubes here. I've replaced the 0A2s, and I bought a new 6BH6. Pardon the squeaking of the chair. Anyway, it's gonna be, I have plate voltage, so that's not the reason I'm drawing excessive grid current. I'm not sure. There's got to be a short somewhere in the wiring harness, and that I'm gonna flip this little guy over so you can get a look here. It's got to be something, I guess, in this wiring harness, somewhere in the wiring harness. You know, in this bundle here somewhere, maybe there's a couple of wires shorted together. I don't know, nothing else makes sense. I'm gonna go through and clean up all the residue again and check voltages, but I have everything. I've replaced almost every resistor, I have replaced every single capacitor in this unit. This one twice, because of an error in wiring. I put it in backwards. Anyway, I replaced the VRs. The old ones are out of tolerance, and they came with this one came with a straight shaft, so the old knob wouldn't even fit on there because it has it's those insert kind that the Heathkits came with, and this one didn't line up with zero, so I put 2 new knobs on, and I had these aluminum knobs. I got these from one of my favorite suppliers, and they had a sale going on. I love getting these guys. They got sales all the time, and 68 cents a piece. These were regular almost $2.50 or $3 each, and they were 68 cents each. I got a whole bag of them. I got like 10 of them. Anyway, I also added this power on indicator. I don't have this thing plugged in now, so you can't tell, but anyway, what I did is I had some circuit board, you can see right there, and I wired into the 12 volt filament supply, full wave bridge rectifier, 35 volt 33 microfarad capacitor, and 2 1K half watt resistors in parallel to give me a 500 ohm 1 watt total resistance. And then I wired in an LED down in there. You can just see the back of it. There's the green LED. You can see the red heat shrink around it, and I super glued that to the face of the unit. And I got a nice power on indicator now to let me know when the power is on. I tried it out, it works fine. However, the bias C- voltage is working just fine. I can get 110, 125 volts, no problem. B plus just pegs 435 volts. Wah. And it starts frying R1. So that means that there is a short circuit somewhere to the common side, and I've got to trace out every wire. I'm going to pull everything apart, pull all the wiring out, and maybe make a whole new wiring harness. I don't have all those colors, not even close, so I'd have to label every wire, and it'd be an onerous task. I'm not looking forward to that. I hope I can find something simpler, and just maybe a burn through somewhere where somebody hit it with a soldering iron or something. But anyway, that's where we're at, and I want to personally thank Mr. Paul Carlson for helping me with some advice and considerations on what to do as far as what to check on this, and taking the time to look at my pictures and what this thing looks like. All right, well, thanks everybody. Thanks for putting up with the steady handy cam and the squeaky chair. I'll wrap it up here, and we'll I'm gonna tear this thing further apart, take the front panel off again, and pull a wiring harness out of it, desolder the whole thing, and check it one wire at a time till I find out what's wrong with this. Wish me luck.